We got Michael Chiesa back here on the program, who is once again facing Anthony Pettis, but this time it's at UFC 226 on July 7th. Mike, what's going on, man? How you doing?
Doing good, man. Just out here in the desert, getting ready for 226.
Good stuff. Now, where am I getting you today? Are you at the PI or where are you right now?
Yeah, I'm at the PI right now in the cafeteria. Just had some breakfast, just hanging out.
I just did an interview this morning with Julian Marquez, who is also in the cafeteria. So I feel like you guys have a good interview spot there. It seems like it's working for you.
Yeah, it's a hot spot. It's nice.
Yeah. How's the food today? What would you have for lunch? Or I guess it's breakfast where you are now.
It's breakfast. Just the usual, little eggs, some oatmeal. I'm on the Lockhart Leaf plan, so just whatever's on the menu for today. Yeah, it's just some eggs and some oatmeal.
Good stuff, man. So obviously you got this big fight here, 226 on International Fight Week. First off, how happy were you not only to get the fight rebooked, but also to be on International Fight Week?
Yeah, more than International Fight Week, I'm just excited to fight in Vegas. I've never lost when I fight in Vegas. I've never lost when I've trained in Vegas. Essentially it's my home away from home. It's my adopted fight home, So it's I feel good going into the fight. I'm really glad I got the same matchup. I want to close that chapter. And then closing that chapter involves fighting Anthony Pettis, so very well prepared. I had a great product ready for UFC 223, and I'm getting to build upon that. So I'll have an even better product to bring to the Octagon on July 7th. So I'm pretty excited.
And obviously, everyone knows what happened at UFC 223 with all the melee there. One thing I wanted to ask you was, I know you tried to fight. I mean, I know you had the cuts and everything, but do you feel like if it was a different commission that they might have cleared you, or was it just the fact that New York was so strict in kind of their ruling and everything?
I think it was the fact that New York's pretty strict, and there was other things going on, but just wasn't a really good situation. You know what I mean? So
and obviously, one more thing on that. Obviously, there's a lot of idiot fans out there, saying different things. How have you handled that backlash? I know you're a guy that sort of lets stuff roll off your back, but I saw a lot of really stupid comments after that whole situation.
I don't pay attention to it, and I don't think it's fair to your fans if you do. I always say to people, like, on your social media, you'll get people talking shit, and especially for this one. I mean, Conor McGregor has some very loyal fans, and they say some pretty harsh things, involving, I've had comments about, death threats on my family and things like that. And you know what? I take them with a grain of salt. I don't acknowledge them. I don't respond, because it's not fair to the people that write to you and comment to you that, wish you well and hope you're good and support you. A lot of times fighters they're quick to jump on responding to people that talk crap to them, but they neglect to say anything to the people that show appreciation for them. So, all the harsh things that just got thrown my way, I just, I didn't even acknowledge them, dude. I just brushed them under a rug. They mean nothing to me.
When did you get back to training after that whole thing happened?
I had to wait to get cleared. But, I pretty much, once I got to being 8 weeks out, I came back out to Las Vegas and just got back to training. So I needed to take some time to get myself cleared, and now I'm back out here in Vegas.
Well, not just not just physically, but I'm sure mentally too. Just going through all that and everything that happened, and you thought you were going to fight, and then you didn't fight, and I'm sure you needed that break. So I wanted to ask you. I know this fight was sort of rebooked a little bit after. How have you structured your training camp with the fact you've had a bit of notice for this fight?
Just the same as before. You know what I mean? I've been back out here at the PIs. Just we're just going to build upon what we had finished last time. You know what I mean? So just working with Bo and working with the whole team out here, it's just business as usual. You know what I mean? There's not a lot of things we needed to change. The game plan's the same, the preparation's the same, same amount of time. By the time I get to this fight, I'll have spent 4 months of the 6 months this year training out here in Las Vegas, game planning for this one fight. So, we're just staying on the course that we were on when we were supposed to fight in Brooklyn.
Did you have any other teammates come out? I know you trained with Austin Arnett, who's got his fight coming up here. I know he came out, but is there anyone else? I know Daniel Spitz as well came and joined you guys. Was there anyone else you brought from back home out to Vegas?
No, Austin gets here this weekend, so Austin will be here for the tail end of my camp. I got a solid squad right now in terms of training partners and stuff. Yair Rodriguez is out here, been a great partner for this camp. Austin will be here. My other teammate Andy's out here. He's a full-time resident out here. So my squad's looking good, man. Just we're on the tail end of this thing, and I'm just ready to get out there, scrap, and just close this chapter. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I agree. And you mentioned obviously the things you worked on last time heading into the fight. Where do you feel like you've improved the most since the last time we saw you in the cage, which was a very long time ago?
Just all around, man. I'm not a guy that I just try to focus on my overall game as a fighter. I don't try to pinpoint certain things. I've had a lot of success so far, and I'm really excited to show. Just it's not just like a skills thing, but it's also like my physiology as a human has changed. I've spent 4 months out here training in a science lab. You know what I mean? So, my physiology as an athlete's a lot different. My gas tank's a lot bigger. I'm a lot stronger. I'm a lot faster. I'm a lot more explosive. And you throw that in the mix with your MMA skills, and that's a dangerous combo. So I'm just excited to showcase all this work I put in.
Do you think you'll ever move to Vegas full time, or for now you like kind of the setup where you have the option to go back home?
I'll never move out of Spokane, Washington. That's my home. You know what I mean? I could see myself getting a place out here. There's a lot of opportunities out here for me. I got to go do my first analyst gig for Fox.
That's right.
And I've had a lot of other little opportunities that have come up, things I can't talk about right now. But that's all been a product of being out here. And, there's over 500 guys on the roster. It's really easy to get lost in the shuffle. So being out here and getting FaceTime with all the right people, it's given me a lot of opportunities. But Spokane will always be my home. Vegas is this is where I work. You know what I mean? And it's sometimes it's nice to have that separation. I miss my girlfriend. I miss my dog. I miss my house. But, I'm out here trying to make a better life for them. And, it's paying off so far.
And you talked a bit about the weight cut there. Is everything going on track heading into this fight?
So I'll be 3 weeks out from the weigh-in tomorrow, and I'm almost 10 pounds lighter than I was last camp. So
great.
It's like, yeah, and before everything happened at 223, I was only like 9 pounds over, you know what I mean? So my weight was good then, but it's even better now, you know what I mean? So I think that, everything's just going good, man. Everything's going smooth, and I'm just happy to be training in Vegas and fighting in Vegas.
And who's going to be in your corner for this fight?
I think it's going to be Sam has always been my staple in my corner.
Right,
Sam's always been, that's my man, you know what I mean? But he's having his firstborn, I think, on the day I fight. So it's right within that window. So unfortunately, he won't be able to be there. But, he's got a bigger thing. He's bringing his first child into this world. I'm sure hopefully he'll be at the hospital huddled over his phone as his young one's being born. We don't know if it's a boy or a girl yet either. So it's real. I'll be, not only do I got to stress of my fight, I'm also like, oh, is it going to be a boy or a girl? This is family business for me. But it'll be Rick Little, John Wood, and Austin Arnett. I think Arnie's the man to fill Sam's void in the corner. So, I'll be well coached.
And how do you see this fight unfolding on July 7th?
Me winning, you know what I mean? Anthony's tough. Anthony brings a lot to the table, but I just don't think he'll be able to handle. I'm a lot to handle right now, man. I'm bigger, I'm stronger, I'm leaner, I'm faster, I'm more explosive. All my weaknesses are being filled. You know what I mean? I'm way more of a complete fighter than I was before. It's a bad time to be fighting me right now. So, I just see myself winning. However, whether it's a finish or a war, it doesn't matter. It's not going to be a war. There's no way it's going to be a war. And if it is, I welcome it with open arms. Either way, I'm going to get the victory.
You mentioned the broadcasting stuff earlier. How was that whole experience? And is that something you could see yourself doing after your fighting career is over?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. 100% I'll be doing. I cut my mullet. I might be able to jump the line and start that early. But
could you give up the mullet, though? This is the important stuff we want to know.
As long as I can have my beard, I'm good.
Okay.
But I really enjoyed it. It's something that I've expressed I've wanted to dabble in. I've wanted to try it. I think it's something that I've always thought it's something I could be good at. You know what I mean? I'm passionate about the sport. I love, not only do I follow fighting, not only is it something that consumes my life on a regular basis, but I love the opportunities to study it and just any new avenue I can take that involves mixed martial arts. I'm all for it, and I welcome with open arms. So it was a great experience, and you'll see me in there again.
How did that get set up? Was that Danny Rube or was that you? Who made that happen?
Well, Danny Rube didn't teach me how to talk and didn't give me my MMA knowledge or get me my fighting career going. But Danny, he's been a big help so far. But there's a lot of things that went into that process. But one thing that annoys me is a lot of people think like, oh, they only gave you your opportunity because of the whole 223 situation. And
What?
it's
People
like,
said that? Really?
oh God,
Oh my
been a
God.
rumble. It's been a rumbling. I saw forums on the underground. They're like, Dana must have paid Chiesa hush money and gave him an analyst job. And I'm like, you guys are idiots. You have no idea.
Oh
You
my
have no
God.
idea
That's a
that
conspiracy theory if I've ever heard one.
it's
That's
a
crazy.
it's a huge one. But people don't realize that I have a good relationship with DC, and and I've had good meetings with people that I don't want to name names, but
Of course,
the right
yeah.
people in
Yeah.
that realm of things. So yeah, let the conspiracy theorists wear their tinfoil hats and conspire.
Last question for you here. What are you watching on TV right now? You watching any Netflix during training camp?
Nah, I just play Super Nintendo.
Oh, awesome.
I,
Okay, well, then now you're really speaking my language. I'm all into the retro gaming. What are you playing on Super Nintendo?
right now I'm just trying to finish Mario World. I'm deep into that one right now. So just finished. I just finished Zelda: Link to the Past a few days ago.
Good stuff. You play any F-Zero at all?
Yeah, play a little F-Zero, a little dabble, but I'm just trying to dominate one game at a time. Don't want to dabble too much in the other ones.
What I like about the classic games is you can just jump into it. Like, you don't need to invest a couple hours. You can play for 20 minutes and then go back to do something else because it's not that huge commitment like these new games, right?
Yeah, absolutely. It's too many buttons. It's too much for me to take in.
Now, do you use an original Super Nintendo or do you have the Mini?
I have the Mini. I got the Mini for my birthday. I have an original Super Nintendo. Just haven't really dug it out, so I'm just playing with that new Mini they came out with.
Who got you that gift? I mean, that's a great gift right there.
My amazing girlfriend, Kelsey.
There you go.
Jill.
She's a keeper. That's
she
good.
is.
Good stuff, man. Well, Mike, I always appreciate you taking the time, man. And everyone's got to check out this fight. It's UFC 226 coming up here July 7th. Just to remind people where they can find you on social media. And if you got any sponsors or shout outs, the floor is yours, man.
Yeah, absolutely. On all my social media platforms, it's at MikeMav22. That's Instagram, Twitter. I think that's my Snapchat as well. A huge shout out to On It, Nike Wrestling, Tim Tam, Danny Rubenstein, best manager in the business, Rick Little, my coach back home, John Wood, my coach out here, all my teammates, all my supporters, and just everybody that's just been a part of the process.